Okay, this is Barbara Ladinsky. I'm co-president of the Chelmsford Art Society, and today I have the great pleasure of having Tom Gill do a presentation for us. Tom is a well-renowned artist throughout the New England area. He was born in Lowell and raised in Chelmsford. He started his painting career very young and pursued his education at the American Art Institute of Boston. Tom was a rock musician in the 80s, and you can see a lot of movement when he paints in his flow of his colors and the lines that he provides. Tom is a member of the North Shore Art Association, the Rockport Art Association, the Chelmsford Art Association, and the Lowell Art Association. His paintings are well known. If anybody has gone into the Enterprise banks, a lot of them are in there. They're owned by a number of private collectors, businesses, hospitals, and educational institutions throughout the Boston and New England area. Tom is the presentator for tonight. I just want to mention also that in February we'll also be doing a presentation, and that one will be done by Don Ouellette. And in March we'll be doing a presentation by Mary Rose O'Neill. Another point I want to make tonight is that to have the Art Society continue with presentations, it's time for people to renew their membership or to make a donation so that we can continue to have our scholarships going forward. Mm-hmm. Now, my pleasure to introduce Tom. And Tom, you want to start?
Okay, I'm ready to go. Thank you for inviting me here. I'm from Chelmsford, as she said. I'm going to paint a scene from Chelmsford off Middlesex Road. It's a road off Middlesex Road. I don't know the name of the street. I'm going to hold it to the camera. I hope you can see it. Should I bring it closer? Well, that's what I'm going to paint.
That works.
The snow scene. I paint with acrylics. My palette is a piece of glass duct taped to a piece of foam core. The colors I use, I'm going to put them out. Cadmium red medium. I'll use this one. Cadmium yellow medium. I use the basics. I find they're good quality. I get a lot of paints from Van Gogh's Gear downtown Lowell. Very convenient. I use a Prussian blue. And this is titanium white. It says on here bright white. I guess it's titanium. It's Utrecht. Utrecht makes good paint. Get that out of Boston, Dick Blick. Sometimes I use a specialty color. Usually this is what I did all my paintings with, red, yellow, blue. That's my basic palette. And like I said, once in a while I use a specialty color. So I'm going to put this blue on my palette because I think it might be helpful. But I don't usually use that. I have an assortment of brushes. I bought them at Van Gogh's Gear. They got nice brushes. These are the green ones. I think it's Princeton. Doesn't really say. No, I don't know what it is. But it's the green synthetic brushes. And I have an assortment that I use. These are basically the ones I use. The flat ones. And one pointy brush. And this yellow one. So basically, I'm going to start my painting by, I like to warm up a little. I'm going to put down I usually start off with red, yellow, which I know makes orange. And I just got to try to feel out the scene. I use water for medium. I don't use any gloss medium. I use it when I finish my painting. Sometimes I varnish it with gloss medium. But mostly I just spray them with Kemar varnish or whatever, any other kind, Krylon varnish, acrylic spray. I couldn't decide which painting to do tonight, but I finally decided on this one. It's a scene I painted a long time ago. I don't know what happened to the painting. I sold it. I don't remember who bought it or where it went. I tap in water to make the paint flow. There's a little creek of water here running through the right inside of the painting. That's what this is going to be. And over here I have a blue house with sunlight on it. I'm going to put that in here somewhere. I got some trees up here with no leaves on them, just branches. Then I step back a little bit and look at what I'm doing. Good to step back once in a while. This roof. Yeah, I gotta step back. Two-story house. Windows there. Well, one story. Well, rooms in the attic.
Tom, do you always rough in with orange?
Yeah.
Why?
Keep a warm palette, keep the colors warm. This is a sunset picture, so orange yellow is good for this picture. I don't know, like a printing press. I break things down. I start out with all red, yellow, then I use the blue, and I do it all with the blue. Like the printing press, when they print out lithographs, they print out yellow, and then they print out the blue, and they print them out separate. And that's kind of how I paint, in a way, in some ways. But I haven't committed to anything with this red, yellow. I'm going to strengthen the lines when I add the blue. Tap in the water. Trees here. Make it sunny. Some branches here. And over here it's a lot of in shadow snow. A lot of shrubbery down in here. So I'm painting wherever the red yellow would go. And I got a blue house, but I gave it a color. I gave it a red yellow for now. It's like an underpainting. More shrubbery over here. Oh, I'll add some blue. Take a sip of my Coke. The blue I use is Prussian blue. Sometimes I use phthalo blue. Sometimes I use ultramarine, but mostly I like Prussian blue. And it's deep and I just find it. I know John Singer Sargent and Anders Zorn, they used 3 colors, and they said they use a blue-black from Andrew Loomis's book. So I figured this is the closest thing to a blue that's black that I could find. I'm going to switch brushes. I'll put that one, leave it out. Switch to this flat brush. Drawing the shapes of the shrubs. Water. And a little bridge here. It's open, but I'm going to keep it open a little bit more than the photo has. I use my artist license. So I don't paint things exactly as they are. Distant trees. That's kind of how I paint. I jump all over the place. Trees. Grass. More trees. Yeah, I committed to the shape. The orange helped me sketch it out. Now I'm strengthening it. The roadway here. The road goes over the bridge in front of the house.
If anybody who's logged in has any questions, I can relay them to Tom.
They can do that?
There's a chat going.
Oh, really?
We have a chat going here,
Interesting.
so I can see if somebody puts in a question. I can see some of the people who are logged in.
I'd never been on a Zoom before. This is a first.
It's our first two for the CSA. Okay.
Nice red color over here. Keep filling it in. Give that brush a rest. Take a sip. Now I'll try putting some color in. I'll use this brush here. I'm going to try this funny blue. Painted the sky. Snow and shadow.
Now, is that water or?
This is snow and shadow.
Okay. Snow and shadow.
I'll show the picture again. You can see it. It's a blue color. The purple would be good. I don't have a purple on my palette. Purple would be good.
Someone mentioned that the sound is spotty. Can you be more specific?
The what?
Amy mentioned that the sound is spotty. Can she be more specific in the chat so that we can address this? Okay. I don't know if it's an internet problem or from our side.
Sound in my body? I don't think I'm making any sounds.
Okay, she said the sound is muffled.
I don't have a mask on. So when I'm painting, I say, where else can I use this color that I'm using?
Okay, we're raising the level of the sound a little bit, so hopefully everyone can hear better.
Yeah, I talk softly. Oh, that's supposed to be sunny. Some snow here.
Now you're putting blue over the orange?
I put green over the orange.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to turn it upside down and look at it. Can I do that?
Sure. Go right ahead.
It's going to drive people crazy at home. I always turn them upside down. Check my
And
drawing.
why do you do that?
Check my drawing and look. I'm looking for big tone, big color, big form, big shapes. That's what I'm looking to paint.
I have a question on what type of blue is it?
Prussian blue.
Prussian blue.
Oh, and I also cheated and used a light blue permanent.
A light blue what?
Permanent.
Permanent?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it's called. I don't usually use that color.
So Prussian blue and light blue permanent are the two blues being used.
I see things upside down pretty well. Maybe I'm dyslexic. I started doing them upside down when I was doing a portrait, and I was stuck with it. and I couldn't figure what to do with it. So I turned it upside down and painted it upside down, and it made a big difference when I turned it right side up. Then I said, wow, that made a big difference. I should do that all the time. I've been doing it ever since. But it's all tones and color and shapes. I don't need that run. I use a rag, which is pretty dirty.
That rag looks like it's gone through many paintings.
Yeah, well, if it was oil paint, you couldn't keep using the same rag because you would get all over the place. But where it's acrylic, it dries, so you can keep using the same rag.
Claire Gagnon has a question. What color is the funny blue? Whatever the funny blue she means.
Hi, Claire. Light blue medium. Light blue permanent.
Light blue permanent.
Yeah. I probably don't need to use this, but I did. There's a blue house. I'm going to paint that in now. Blue house in the sun. It's a light blue house.
How much of your painting are you going to do upside down?
Oh, I don't know. But don't turn me off yet. I'm just blocking it into shapes.
Okay.
I know it's irritating.
No, it's just interesting. It's something for me to try next time when I'm painting and I'm having it.
When you're stuck, it works. Because I'm really looking for shapes and tones. Helps me out a lot.
I have a question for you, Tom. When did you shift from oils to acrylics?
I always did acrylic, ever since high school. That's what we were given in high school. Then I went to the Art Institute of Boston, and we did acrylics there and oils. And I had a teacher, Norman Bayer, who did excellent acrylic paintings, and I was sold on his paintings that he did such a great job that I stuck to acrylics. I find them easy to clean up. There's no smells. And when I was painting with oils in a small room once, after 3 days, I was wheezing. Probably the turpentine. But I always did oils, and I've been painting, I always did acrylics. And I've been painting professionally since 1982 when the Brush Gallery opened. That's where I got my start.
Okay, Tom, did you prep your canvas in any way?
No, this canvas, I had a painting underneath, and I gessoed over the painting for tonight. But I like to just peel the plastic off the canvas and start painting. I don't like to do any canvas stretching or any gessoing or any of that stuff, any of that mess. That's not a blue house. I'm going to have to start mixing colors. I'll turn it back over and start solidifying things. Take a sip of Coke. I got to get the color of this house right. It's got some blue shadows. That's too dark. And it is a light blue. So seems to be wet. I paint usually on dry paint, but when I'm painting this fast, it's wet on wet, which is not my usual way of working. Except I paint outside. You got to paint fast outside. I haven't used any white yet. Save the white for later. Oh, I should check on time. How am I doing on time? I still got plenty of time, right?
It is 7:25 right now, so
Good.
you have plenty of time.
Good. Because I got a lot to do. I put snakes in the water. I call them snakes. There's squiggle S's. Make it look like water. I always do that with water.
I'd like to let you know, Tom, that we've had very good comments so far on the presentation.
Oh, good.
Right now, we have about 40 people logged in watching this.
Wow. The magic of the internet.
The magic of your name.
I always worry it's not going to come out.
Oh, come on.
And then halfway through I worry, and then I eventually pull it off, eventually.
We feel honored that you're here tonight.
Thanks. I'm going to try this pointy brush. I got to work on a house.
We have a question. When do you do underpainting to the canvas to start?
When do I do what?
Underpainting?
Yeah, underpainting. I do that a lot. Start with red, yellow. I do the whole thing red, yellow, then put the colors over it.
Okay.
Do it monochromatic. There's a house next to this one, right next door.
Another question about underpainting. What does the underpainting to the canvas achieve?
Well, it helps you get down the value, the light and dark values in some of the color. And it gives you a nice effect when you paint on top of another color. Sometimes I take a painting that I don't like and I paint right on top of the painting without any gesso. I just paint right on top of that painting and leave the undercolor, arbitrary color showing through. And it gives you a neat effect. It's something that you should try. Painting on top of an old painting without gesso. You don't always have to paint on white. Sometimes I painted on bright blue canvases. It made some nice paintings and had some interesting effects. A bridge with snow on it. A good scene.
Is this in reality in Chelmsford? What part of Chelmsford is it in?
North Chelmsford.
Okay.
A road off Middlesex Road. Down by where the Meadow Lounge used to be. First time I cleaned my brush in water. I'll put some more yellow out. I haven't been cleaning my brushes, and I just take the paint from one color to the next color. But now I cleaned it
And
off.
you're not concerned of muddying the color?
No. It might look like mud.
Are there any more questions from the audience?
I see if this is dry yet. I can make a nice blue house. Wait a minute, a little more tree branches.
Question for you, Tom, is do you paint every day?
I used to, now I get hooked on TV. Now I watch TV every day. I used to paint every day. I didn't have a TV for a long time. And I would paint every day. And those days are gone. I'm hooked on too many TV shows. Yeah, I didn't have a TV for a long time. And I painted a lot. I kind of lost the art spirit that I used to have.
Don't you think it's been hard during this age of COVID to sort of get yourself in a groove to be creative again?
Yeah. Not because of COVID, just because I'm lazy.
Well, everybody's cooped up.
Yeah.
I've got a question, Tom. Do you go back and work on a painting more, or is it always a one-time practice?
Do I work on a painting more than once at a time?
Do you put it away and then come back to it later?
Yeah, all the time. All the time.
Another question is, do you prefer landscapes or images with figures?
Images with figures.
Okay.
Except I don't like doing portraits. I've been doing a lot of portraits. I just did some judges. 3 or 4 judges I did. 4, I guess. And I don't know, I find it tedious and stifling. Not like painting something for yourself where you can be free and let the paint fly. Like I'm doing with this.
Tom, do you ever use a medium when you're painting?
No, I used a medium for quite a while, and I found out it wasn't really making any difference. So I never use a medium anymore. I used to use it, but I prefer to just dilute it with water. I think that house would be a good cerulean blue, but I don't have that. I'm still trying to mix a nice blue, but it's muddy. Let me try lighten it. No, it's gray. I lighten it, but it looks gray.
There's a question of what painting do you feel is your best work? Do you have an all-time favorite of anything you've painted?
What?
Do you have a favorite painting that you've ever painted?
Well, I did so many paintings in my life. I have so many that I like. There's one of a circus I did years ago that I like. Carnival. It was a carnival with a clown in an orange suit. I like that one. And then there's the ones at the Acton Enterprise Bank. I like those 2 paintings that I did there. And one's a big painting of a library with kids on the front steps. And the other one's the Acton Common. And I had my friend Heidi Jackson pose in it with a few other people. That's one of my favorites. There's one in Westford Enterprise Bank of a parade float. I like that one. And there's so many other ones. There's a lot of figure paintings I did that I like. I like to go to the Rockport Sketch Group, paint the model with the other artists. I like the camaraderie with the other artists. But they don't have it now because of the COVID, which is sad.
Do you have an idea of how many paintings you've painted in your lifetime, approximately?
No, probably 1,000. I did so many paintings. I don't have records of them all, but I go through my old box of photos, like I was looking for this picture to paint, looking for something to paint, and I said, well, yeah, I forgot about that painting. And then I see another photo I painted. Oh, I forgot about that one. And there's so many paintings I did. Probably did 1,000 paintings.
Another question is, do you use other tools to create your work besides brushes and paint? In other words, do you use a palette?
No,
Palette knife?
no, don't use a palette knife. Just brushes.
Okay, so strictly brushes.
Yeah. People think I use a palette knife, but it looks in my paintings. But no. Let's see. I'm at a point where I don't know what to do with this. I guess I can fill in the rest of the blue snow. I like to paint with strokes. Strokes show direction and feeling and emotion.
Can you tell us the most satisfying satisfaction that you get out of painting?
The most satisfying sensation I got out of painting?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it just makes me feel good. Sometimes if I'm depressed or something, I just take a big canvas and I start painting and my mood changes like that. It can really change your mood. So I used to play music and that would give me good feelings. I loved being on stage when I was in the band. And people say, how come you don't play guitar anymore? And I say, I get just the same feelings from painting a picture that I used to get out of playing the guitar. It releases endorphins.
So the media that you're painting in is oil. Do you still paint in oil?
No, this is acrylics.
I know, but you still do oil and acrylic? And any other, do you do watercolor at all?
No, don't do watercolor. I had a set of watercolors in art school and someone broke in my car and stole them. And I never replaced them. I couldn't afford to replace them. I think I could have been a good watercolorist, but someone stole my watercolors. But I have some now, because I was going to try them. And I have a ton of pastel, because I was teaching pastel portrait at they were all doing pastels. I was teaching portrait at the Lexington Arts and Crafts Society. And everybody was doing portraits with pastels. And I got so inspired by what they were doing, I bought a big set of pastels, but I never used them once. I think they'd be messy with the powder and everything. But I never did them. There's a lot of yellow. I'm going to try something. I'm going to put it upside down again. I'm going to try something with red yellow. I'm going to go over it with wherever I see red yellow needed. Clean my brush off. Actually, I like this brush. I'm going to try this brush.
Have you ever started sketching with markers?
Yeah, I did a lot of markers, ink markers. Oh, and then I bought the paint markers. They put acrylic, Liquitex put acrylic paint in a paint tube. So I did a whole bunch of those, kind of like sketching with pastels. I did a whole bunch of them. I used to do a lot of ink markers. I did a ton of them. And you know what, I need well, I don't need it, but a razor blade scraper is in my bag. I can do without it. But I did a bunch of ink marker renderings, and I sold them all. And I think to do them again, I'm going to warm this up with some red yellow. I see it in the sky. I see it in the house. I want it to look like a sunny day. And I don't have that effect that I want.
So you're almost using that like a watercolor. It's very,
Yeah. Yeah, it's very much like a watercolor. Very fluid. See, the paint's dry underneath, so I can do this without, if it was oil, it would all smudge. Like that just did. That's the color sky I wanted. A blue-green. See where else I can do that. Add some red. In the water. It's reflected. There's some sun that breaks through right there in the bushes. Some of these trees here are reflecting into the water. So that's what I'm going to do, put some trees in the water, which means they have to come over here to match. That makes for the purple snow, adding red to it. I said I needed a purple. And I like that, I like that. The road.
I have a question of where can we see more of your paintings?
Oh, good question.
And do you have some for sale locally?
Yeah, at the Brush Gallery, I have 6 paintings, 12 by 16 inches at the Brush Gallery. They range from $300 to $500 each. And they're all nice paintings. And you can see my work at any Enterprise bank, because I did all the Enterprise banks, all 25 of them. I got 2 paintings in every bank, at least.
Do you still have some at Whistler House?
No, but I'm on there. Sarah Bogosian was nice enough to give me a page on their website or something.
You were an Artist of the Month recently.
Yeah, Artist of the Month. But the Whistler House is closed because of the COVID. Just like the North Shore Art Association is closed in the Rockport. Well, Rockport's doing some things online. But I used to like to go down there and get inspired to see all the artists. And now I don't go down to Gloucester because I can't see the art shows.
Well, I know Sarah will open up if you want to buy a painting from you, because she did it for our case. So if you see a painting on the Whistler House website of Tom's, and you call the Whistler House, she will meet you there and sell a painting of Tom's.
There you go. That's kind of how I paint. I jump around. Oops. Well, I guess, oops. I don't do that. Fell off the hook. Oops, I'm sinking.
I have a question. Do you do seascapes?
Not many seascapes, no. Boats, yes. Seascapes, no. No, that was never my thing. Just like sunsets. People do a lot of sunsets. I don't do sunsets.
I know
Usually.
you've done a number of pictures of Gloucester.
I did a lot of pictures of Gloucester. There's a roof back here. There's some kind of a shed here, but I don't know what it is. But I just suggest it. I painted outside a little bit this year. It's fun to get out, but it's a lot of work setting up and carrying everything, trying to find a good spot. I'm not really an outdoor painter. I like to paint in the studio, comforts of the studio at home. Bad chimney.
What is that area right there?
What I'm doing? Is that a question?
Mm-hmm.
That's a porch.
Okay.
It's something in front
It's
of
just
it.
emerging.
It's a porch. I love Aldo Hibbard's snow scenes. He's my favorite. One of my favorites. He's in the Whistler House is full of, they got like 15 Aldo Hibbard paintings. They're beautiful. If you haven't seen them, you should check them out. The Whistler House. Another favorite artist of mine, J.C. Leyendecker. I love his work. J.C. Leyendecker. I don't know how he painted so well. I studied his book, and I looked at his paintings, and I studied and wanted to paint like him, but I didn't come near like him. He was Norman Rockwell's mentor. Norman Rockwell, I like his work a lot. I studied his work a lot. But I think J.C. Leyendecker's better. And his paintings just amaze me how good they are. He painted for the Saturday Evening Post, like Rockwell did. He was before Rockwell. Well, they're going to have a tree here because they got it reflected in the water down here.
Now, what color is that?
I don't know. People ask me what color it is. I say, I don't know. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's a little bit of everything. It's a dirty red color. Let's see if I can get some clean snow. Under the bridge.
There's a question about, tell us about the famous artists of the North Shore as a tribute to Charlie Moville. Talk.
Tell you about the famous artist from North Shore Association.
Yes.
Who's that? Charles Mavali?
Yes.
He was a wonderful painter. I'm very inspired by his paintings. He paints big, broad brush strokes and paints them really fast. And he just turns them out. They kind of look like sketches, but then they still look like finished paintings. And he sold a lot. He painted a lot. And he only spent like a few hours each painting, I heard. But I'm amazed at what he did. He's such an inspiration and an all-around nice guy. Sadly, he's gone. The other one, Robert Groupie. I love Robert Groupie's paintings. He's the son of Emil Groupie. He's still alive. He has a studio at Bearskin Neck. Not Bearskin Neck, Rocky Neck, Gloucester. He does wonderful, wonderful landscapes. He goes out and paints them, and all goopy and roughed in and just beautiful. He's like my favorite down there. He's the master. Telephone poles.
The comment is, after you said he's a master, somebody said, and so are you.
Oh, thank you. I don't consider myself a master, but thank you. I kid myself and I say I'm the master painter, trying to build my ego. I always say that. A lot of people.
Now, what are you putting in the white right there?
I'm putting in a light blue, painting around these trees. Leaving a little blue up on the top. Finishing off the sky. It's like a blue-yellow, like a green. Add a little yellow. It comes out blue-gray. That's not the color I wanted. But it's going to do.
Does anybody else in the audience have some questions? Okay, do you ever see George Blick on Rocky Neck?
Robert Groupie. Robert Groupie at Rocky Neck. Not Rocky Neck. Biscuit. Yeah, Rocky Neck.
Rocky Neck.
Rocky Neck. Check out his gallery. He's the master painter. That's the tree reflections on the house.
For those of you who are in the audience, I remind you that it's time to renew membership at the CSA. And we would also, you can do your membership off of the website. The new website has a membership link. When you bring that link up, you can either do your membership there through PayPal or with a credit card. You can also do a donation directly to the CSA there. We're on the way to starting looking for scholarship winners again from the high schools this year. So we need membership to be a little beefed up before we can go ahead and give out a good bit of money like we did last year. Last year we had three students who won our scholarships. One went to RISD, and one went to the Mass School of Art, and one decided to defer because of COVID and is going to school this coming year. Even though this is a demo, how long does a typical painting take you to complete?
Some take years.
Years?
I have a painting of a girl in a purple dress. It took me years to finish that painting. And I did one of my sister, and my niece was blowing bubbles out on a blanket outside, and that took me forever to paint. Some paintings just go on and on and on and on. But painting like this could take me 3 days. I could do it in 3 days and have it finished really nice.
Okay, right now we are at 7:59, so it's been almost an hour.
I'm going to start wrapping it up. I'm going to step back.
I've got a question of how did you establish yourself as an artist when you first got started?
Well, I had a studio at the Brush Art Gallery, and they opened in 1982, and that's when I started my full-time career. I left music, and I did go to the Art Institute of Boston. I got out in '75, but I went into the Brush Gallery, and that's kind of how I got started. I had a one-man show at the Worcester House and a one-man show at the Concord Art Association, and then I was off and running. That's how I got established.
That's a long career.
Yep, I've been painting all those years. I want to make this darker.
Any other questions? Chelmsford Art Society, Claire. Did I misspeak? Just want to reiterate that, and the Chelmsford Art Society has had a number of people who have won, who have become well-known artists. I think probably the most well-known is Lance Weidler, who works on The Simpsons, and for the last couple of years has been donating a poster done from The Simpsons that has all the signatures from all of the caricatures that we donate at the 4th of July show. Let's hope, since COVID vaccines are rolling out, that we can go ahead and have the 4th of July this year. On our website, we have, under the About section, we have a listing of all of the scholarship winners for since the Art Society has been doing them. I have a question, Tom, if you have a studio at the Brush now.
No, I left there. I was there 3 different times, but I don't have one there now. But I do have paintings down there. I got 6 paintings, like I was saying. I'm an associate, I guess. That's what you'd call me.
So you can go to the Brush right now, and in one of the rooms on the right-hand side, he has 6 paintings that are for purchase.
That's right. Oh, missing piece of the roof. Right here.
That's the little shed?
That's not a fence, that's a roof. That's
Oh, okay.
windows. That's windows to the house. That's a porch.
From the angle I'm on, it's hard to see.
Yeah.
Any other questions from the audience?
Oh, I messed that up.
Now, is that a dark blue?
Dark blue. Dark blue.
Next month, on February 24th, which is a Wednesday, we will be having Don Ouellette, who will be doing watercolor. Don is a well-known landscape painter. He does both oil and watercolor, and he will be exhibiting doing a demo for the CAS.
Don's a wonderful artist, and he's a good musician, too.
Yes, he is, both. It's interesting because Don was the last person we hired last year before we had to shut down with COVID. And then in March, we have, on a Saturday, we will be having Mary Rose O'Neill doing a presentation for us.
Mary Rose O'Connell.
O'Connell, I'm sorry, I said O'Neill.
She's a wonderful artist, too. She's a good friend of mine. We talk about art a lot.
I guess I could ask our audience, too, are there any particular artists that you would like to see the Chelmsford Art Society go ahead and ask them to do a demo of?
How about Robert Groupie? He'll be good. How much more do you want me to work on this?
Right now, it is 6 minutes after 8.
I'm pretty much finished.
Okay.
You want me to keep working on it?
No, if you feel you're finished, that could be it.
That's kind of how I paint. I jump all over the place.
From the top to the bottom, from this corner to that corner. Are there any other questions from the audience? I am not getting anything else.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm sorry, Tony's talking in me. Okay, I would just like to thank Tom very much for coming and doing the demonstration tonight. This is
you.
beautiful. I love all the paintings that you brought.
Thank you. Yeah, I brought some paintings in.
Do you want to talk about each of them a little bit?
I don't know.
And are they for sale, I guess, too, since somebody asked
Yeah,
about art for
they're
sale?
all for sale. My favorite one is this snow scene. I don't know if the camera can see it because the camera's over there. But this snow scene I did, Prospect Street, was that's one of my favorite paintings that I've done. You asked me what paintings any that I had favorites. That's one of my favorites. This is a Lowell Cemetery. I don't know, I painted it from a photo. This one here from Western Avenue Studios, looking out the windows from the 3rd floor. I like that scene. This one here is my daughter and my 2 grandkids. I like painting my family. I did a lot of paintings of my grandkids and my daughter. And it took me forever to do that. I'm not crazy about how it came out.
Do you have a website at all?
No, I don't. I used to, but I don't have one now.
Okay. But we can find your paintings on the website for as the Artist of the Month at the Whistler House, and some of your paintings are at the Brush right now.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.